You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby.
All right, so this is Whatever by Hektek, by yours truly, Hektek Desires. Been videographer, producer, all the above. I am joined by a lovely guest, Miss Ivy Andrews.
Hello, hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Miss Ivy Andrews. I am an adult performer, and we're going to have a good time.
Absolutely. Sweet to the point. So this is our first time. We're live streaming. So this is our first time. So any hiccups, any of that stuff, we just got to deal with it, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're waiting for one more person, but we're going to go ahead and kick the show off. Go ahead and tell the fans a little bit about yourself.
So I am 29 years old. I'm going to be 30 this year, but I'm 30 years young. And I've been doing this for seriously for about a year now. And I've slowly grown my platform organically to where it is now. But there's big things in the work this year. I've got a lot of shoots planned with some big people and some big creators. So I think that you guys should keep an eye on my stuff and follow me and watch me grow.
All right. So what got you in? So you only been in the industry for a year?
Seriously, for a year. I started doing OF and things like that around the end of COVID, kind of like on the downwards of when it was popular. I didn't really know what to do. I kind of was just doing whatever. I never really took it seriously. I just did that, and I was doing it faceless. So I had a baby.
So wait, how were you doing it faceless? Like you were wearing a mask?
So you just crop your head out, and you're just it's just body. And I really wasn't getting any traction with that. I would say if you want to start doing this, it's really hard to make it as a faceless creator. You can't. People want to see you. People want to see your face. People want to see the facial expression. Sometimes people just like to see you smile and see the personality behind the person. And if you're not showing any of that, it's just body, then there's not really much to go with except for a hot body.
All right. So you have me stumped because I never even thought about the cropping out or any of that.
Yeah.
So what was your mindset for doing that?
Well, I was a personal trainer at the time, and I was like, I just don't want people to notice me. And I have a few tattoos, and when I was doing it, I was like, well, I've got these tattoos. People will still be able to know it's me. So then I changed it to showing my face. And it was more of I guess didn't want it to get out to my family because I was still doing my normal day life job. And I was still kind of not really knowing the industry at all or how to be in the industry. So it was just kind of I don't want things to get out there. And then my parents find out, and then it's just an awkward conversation at that point.
Wow. But you realize you have to kind of show your face in order to make money.
Absolutely. It shows so much more personality. It shows that you're a real person and that you're not just stealing photos from random people and posting it.
Right.
It just looks sketchy, and it's just hard to get traction unless you're a popular creator and you've got a smoking hot body that can't quit. Other than that, you got to show your face.
So how long did it take you before you realized this no showing face thing is not really working for you?
Well, I kind of let it go for a while because I was going to nursing school and I was doing all of these things. And then I was like, I'm going to nursing school. Let me just make a little extra cash. And I was like, let me post some photos with my face and let's see how it works. Let's see how it goes, where the traction is on that. And it skyrocketed. It was so much different than the posts without the face. And I was like, okay, well, people like this. People like seeing me smile. People like seeing my face and all of that. So it was like, okay, well, this is doing better. I might as well do this. I was like, but still, like, if this gets out or whatnot, I'm going to become a nurse. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to become a nurse.
So you say fuck being
I
a
don't want to
nurse.
do that anymore because I was making way better money doing this than I would being a nurse. And I was like, I don't like blood. I don't like, I want to take care of people. I don't want people to yell at me. Like, this is fun. This is what I know I can do well. I've always enjoyed this in general and everything about it. And just like the empowerment that it gives women nowadays is insane. It's insane that people can take their power back like that.
No, 100%. No, I definitely have heard that. I've heard. So the reason I asked about the face thing was because so many people come in this industry thinking about being a solo creator and think about how easy it is because everyone's just going to want to see them.
Right.
Until they actually really start to put some effort into it and realize, like, I'm really, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some solo creators
are killing it. Yeah.
Are killing it. But there's not a lot of them.
There's a 1%. There's a 1% that's up there. And again, you got to have a body that doesn't quit. You've got to, and they're doing well because they know how to leverage social media. They know how to promote in ways that a lot of creators who I've talked to who are like huge creators, they're not making a lot of money. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy that you have 39,000 followers, but your engagement is like 2 retweets and like 5 likes. And I'm like, how are these not going together? So followers don't really matter.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the content and it's how you promote yourself and it's how hard you work to promote yourself.
No, 100%. I think COVID definitely has made it seem easy for a lot of people because a lot of people weren't going outside. So it was easy for, you know, someone to get up there and get a little toy and, you know, boom, 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 knock one out real quick and make a couple $100. But we're outside now, like outside.
We outside. We outside now, and people are trying to save their money now. They're like, when's it going to happen again? People are still scared that they're going to get locked up again. And with the warm weather and everything coming, and people want to go on vacation and spend their money on that. Like, there's so many other things now that people are spending their. TikTok has a shop now. Like, it's so easy for people to just throw their money around that there's nothing really left for the creators anymore, unless you're pulling and putting out all of that good stuff that people want and listening to your audience and making sure that you're staying on brand with who you are. Don't dip your toes into all of the waters because you're going to wear yourself out. You got to know who you are and what your niche is, and you got to stick to it and go hard on it.
No, 100%. I often consult for other models trying to get in, and I ask them like, "What are you going to? What's your niche going to be? Like, what are you going to shoot?" And they just be like, "I'm gonna shoot everything." I'm like, "That sounds great."
Yeah.
But you're going to either make a lot of content that at the end of the day you're not going to be happy about, or you're just going to burn yourself out so quickly because you're just trying to throw shit to the wall. You know?
Right. You can't please everybody, but you can please a specific crowd and go really good at it. And get really good money for it.
Even for me with Dry Bone, you know, I didn't know there was going to be a whole. Well, I knew there was a genre for dry humping, right? Like I already knew it was out there, but I had to go and make my own little, you know, twist to it. And now it's doing really, really well. But you have to kind of go on faith and you have to kind of go out there and do it and stick with it. It's especially a lot of people stop because they don't see the fruits of their labor for,
Yeah,
instance.
they want instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's not going to be instant. I've been doing this for a year, and I would say doing it seriously as my only job. And that's the other thing, is a lot of people are doing it with a vanilla job.
Mhm.
That is their source of income. I just talked to a creator today, and she's like, I want to do this full time. She's got a crazy amount of followers. She made $6,000, and she could be making so much more money. It's
Okay.
just when you're just an individual, like you said, throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, there's no guide. No one has the rules to what you need to do and the steps you need to do in order to be successful. Majority of the creators are either managed by someone, they have people who chat for them, or they're just doing everything on their own and trying to figure it out. And no one's saying what's right or wrong. They just have to kind of see what works. And what
Right.
works for someone isn't going to work for somebody else. So it's really like, it's hard. It's hard to claw up into this industry. It's not easy as like taking your clothes up and taking a picture.
And they also forget too, what made COVID really boom was, like we said, we couldn't go outside. So to be able to see some of the people that you may have wanted to see, this was the only lane for you to do so.
Right.
Now there's so many people doing this, it's almost like, what's going to make you different from everyone else?
Exactly. It's so diluted, and it's like, okay, cool. You're doing exactly what this girl is doing, but I like her stuff better because she's pushing out more things faster. She's constantly feeding this instant gratification for me. Yeah. And you're posting one time a week. Sometimes that's all people have the bandwidth to do, but they're going to go to the person who is posting 3, 5, 6 times a day.
Yeah, because, and you have to train your fans. A lot of people are being trained by the fans, and that's the worst thing you could do, because you're always chasing the rabbit.
Yeah, and people have to realize that you need to set your boundaries. If someone's trying to tell you this should be less, it's because they're not really going to give you what you're worth. You got to put your foot down, and you've got to tell them like, hey, I get it. You kind of have to work with them in a way, because sometimes they try to bring the price down because that's what they can afford. Mm-hmm. But what I do to kind of like flip it into a positive for myself is like, look, this is what this is. This is the rate for this. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to spend just this amount, I can give you this. This is what I can offer you. And that's what drove my sales up, is that I didn't deny anybody a sale. There was always something to give, even if it wasn't something that they were trying to get.
Okay, that makes sense. I often have people that will walk away from money instead of, like you said, kind of saying, okay, well, if this is your budget, this is what I can do for you.
Yeah.
I have people will completely just walk away, because I think at the end of the day, they forget it's a business. And as much as we don't want to say negotiation or haggling or whatever,
right,
that's part of business.
Yeah. Yeah. But if there's things that you know that it's not worth your time to be doing it for that amount of money, like some people want to make a custom or get a custom from you, and they want to give you 6 pages of exactly what they want. And it's like, I'm not getting that for this amount of money. Are you kidding me? That's going to take me like hours to, 1, film it.
Yeah.
2, it's editing as well. Like, people don't understand that when you shoot something, it's not like, shoot, I send it to someone, they edit it. Some people have that privilege. A lot of creators do not. A lot of creators film on 3 separate cameras. They film for 2 hours. That's 6 hours of footage that you have to go through. Then you have to find all the good parts, all the good angles, splice it up together, edit the video, blur faces if you need to. Then you have to watermark. It's a process where people don't understand it. well, why is it that much? Because I did it all myself.
Right.
This is the price for my time.
Right.
Like,
No, you make very, very, very good points. So before we need to stop being rude because we've been rude.
yeah. Sorry, Jordan, you're just sitting there.
We've been so.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Are you
finally,
talking to me?
Oh, man.
finally, yeah.
nah, that's cool. I'm just a fly on the wall here.
All right.
Don't mind me.
So go ahead and so you don't feel left out. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jordan.
No, I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out where your glasses are.
Why?
Because you look weird. I don't like this.
You don't like me without glasses?
No, because I don't know who you are. And what is that on your head? Why do you have something on your head? You never have something on your head.
I'm trying something new. Stop. Why? You're supposed to be introducing yourself. You critiquing how I'm looking right now. That's crazy.
I mean, why does it matter when I introduce myself? Because I've literally been sitting here for, I don't know, like 10 minutes while you and,
10 minutes?
Ivy just, like,
10
we're just
minutes,
talking.
that's
Coming into, we just got lost in the conversation.
10 minutes. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like, I mean, it could be like 5.5, but it still felt like an eternity over here.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hi, hello, adults.
Nah, I seen you.
Thanks. I'm glad you saw me. You didn't talk to me.
I
Cool.
see you.
You take the glasses off and don't know how to act. That's what it is.
You know, I can't. I have to squint now.
You know, he said, John Cena can't see me. You can't see me.
All right. So
cool.
all this time that you've been talking shit, you could have been introducing yourself.
People should already know. I've been here like 4 times now.
Well, not live. This is live.
Yeah,
maybe we should post something. We need to post something that is live then.
Wait, I did.
Like, again, like, hey, we're like live, like right now. Like, hey, where's the link?
Come join us.
Yeah, like, how about we do that? Do you have a link you can put in the chat?
I don't know.
Maybe you should find out.
Hold on a sec. So,
yeah, no worries.
So, well, go ahead and introduce yourself while I find this shit out.
Hey, guys, it's me, the one guy, that's been sitting here for about 10 minutes, not really doing anything. You know me. Just go follow my Twitter. It's that name, that guy. I don't know. I'll wait till you figure out what we're going to do. So, type.
Ooh, get shareable link.
Ooh, really? Huh? Crazy. I wonder where everyone else is at. They just like no one wants to talk in the group chat. Like they feel some type of way.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know either.
Like, I feel like we're like people talking.
It's a little strange if you ask me, but
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But what is going on, guys? It is your boy Jordan D. Wright. Oh, Tech, did you even catch that though? You should have caught that from the One Piece reference, man. As soon as you said that. Anyway, I know. It's just like I just keep coming with it, man. It's just like that thing just crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's me. This is like my 4th time on the show. I'm just happy to be here. I'm excited to finally meet the Miss Ivy Andrews.
I know.
Wonderful.
We've been talking over
you.
Twitter this whole time, and now we finally get to talk face to face.
I know. It's like, yes.
Well,
I get to see the new
it's not technically face to face, but it sounds great.
Yeah. It sounds amazing, actually.
Hey, it's better than texting, let me tell you.
It is. I'll be in the DMs just like, so Ivy, hi. And it's like, not the same. Now it's like,
I think your girlfriend's hot.
I know, thank you. Hey, we can't wait to share. But yeah. So it's me, that guy. Tech, nice to see you again, sir. It's always a pleasure. I'm excited to see you again.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get the link and let's get some stuff out there. Let me go make a tweet or something.
Let's do it.
Give me some links, man. Give me some links.
We gotta figure this thing out. But so Ivy, continue talking while I get this stuff going.
I guess.
Well, let me ask you another question then, and we could go by that.
Let's do
since
it.
Jordan rudely interrupted us.
Just was sitting there.
Yeah, this.
So how's your journey been for this year, and what niche did you find works for you versus what didn't work for you?
So I would say that my niche is basically like switch all day. I mean, I've posted Dom stuff, I've posted subby things. I have a huge following of people who want to express themselves in a way that they feel they don't feel comfortable or have felt comfortable else. And that's kind of my thing, is making sure that everybody can experience their fantasies without feeling judged or feeling like that's wrong. Because when I was growing up, I was always made to feel like these things were so dirty to do and talk about, and it's such a sin to be in this type of industry, and it just has a bad rap. But really, it's like we said before, it's something that's so empowering for not only women but men doing this. I mean, being a male stripper is like, okay, you couldn't really do anything. Being a stripper in general, you couldn't do anything else. They have fun. They're doing their thing. They love the lifestyle. They love what they do, and they're comfortable in their body. And not a lot of people are comfortable in their body, and they're not comfortable expressing themselves. And I feel like a lot of people are holding back their deepest desires, and that's what I kind of help them explore. And I've helped a lot of people in person doing it.
If y'all can, check your emails. That was the easiest way for me to say that.
But why did you really interrupt her like that, though?
Bro, you were the one pressing me about this damn link, so I wanted to say how y'all can find this link.
What does this link do?
What?
What does the link do? It looks like the same link that we had before.
No, it's a different link.
It's the YouTube link.
Oh, so it works. Nice. There you go. I saw me.
Oh.
Awesome.
You're weird.
This is cool. This is so cool. Yay.
They're going to be like, cancel this show.
Please, I want them to.
So you're a switch. So explain that to the vanilla people out here.
Yeah, so for all you vanilla people trying to figure out what I'm talking about.
Not so derogatory. We're not being derogatory by calling you vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla people, it's fine. You'll figure it out. It's okay to explore. That's what I'm here to do. So being a switch is, you like being a submissive person sometimes, and then sometimes you like being a dominant person, and then sometimes you can be both and mix it up within the same session. Let's say that way. But sometimes you just have to change your mindset. Sometimes, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced this, where someone has been a little bit more submissive when you're wanting something a little bit more dominant, and you kind of just go with the flow that way. Well, I kind of take advantage of the situation in a respectful and consensual way. But sometimes you just feed off of the energy of when it's happening. And sometimes I'll start one way, and then something happens within the session where it just flips me into the other mindset. And a lot of people kind of think, oh, well, if you're dominant, then you have to always be dominant. And I see that conversation a lot on my timeline, specifically because I do follow a lot of solely dom women. And then I follow a lot of solely submissive women.
Right.
And trying to navigate both within this industry is tough, because you are made to be one or the other. Someone made this comparison one time when I was talking about me being a switch. They're like, well, when you post your dominant stuff on your submissive page, doesn't that detract some people? And I'm like, actually, no, because there's a lot of men who are very dominant. They're always dominant, who want a little bit of that other side of the life. And it intrigues them, and it sparks something inside of them that's like, oh, maybe I can kind of like sit back sometimes and I can be taken care of, or I can be roughed up a little bit. And that sounds kind of good because I'm always in this dominant role. I'm always the boss. I'm always taking charge. Maybe I want to switch things up a little bit sometimes. So actually, it doesn't detract any of my fans. I've got a lot of people in my DMs saying like, I've been wanting to try this for so long. And you've opened up my eyes and you've really sparked something inside of me that really wants to explore that, but I don't feel comfortable doing with anybody else but you. So.
No, a lot of the submissive men that I've come across or whatever are normally dominant in their everyday life. Even women, a lot of dominant women want to be submissive
Right.
in the bedroom, because it's like, this is what I do 24/7 already. Let me just sit back and relax and let someone else, pretty much take over. No, I get that.
It's like a mental health break, really, because it's exhausting being in charge all the time. That's why I like being a switch, because sometimes I want to put my energy into that. And sometimes I want to sit back and have someone put the energy into me.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
So what kind of kinks are you into?
I would say I'm one of the more no limit kind of creators. I do a lot of really anything and everything. I would say the list of things I don't do is shorter than the list of things I do.
What's the short list?
The short list is no feces or scat, none of that. I don't do blood. I don't do needles. I'm more of a like mommy dom, like nurturing dom, but I can be like firm. But I don't like giving like bodily harm that could like really like mess you up for like a lifetime. So people who do like ball busting and stuff, like some people like that. It's not my thing. If it's not going to be something that I enjoy doing, it's not going to be something that I do. I'm all about both parties wanting something and getting enjoyment out of it. Because I feel like in a way that's not consensual to me, because I don't take pleasure in really, really like harming somebody.
No, oh fuck. The ball busters.
Sorry, I made both of your balls hurt, right?
No, so I go to a fetish convention every year, and you'll just be walking down the hallway and someone's just getting kicked in their balls.
Yeah. I'm
not kink shaming.
I don't kink shame. You can like what you like. I'm just not going to be the one to perform it on you.
Yeah, like listen, for the guys to have their hands behind their back, legs spread, and be, what's coming. It's coming. And for you to sit there and let this shit happen.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Some people, they like to go past the limit. And I'm like, well, this is where our train stops, because I'll do the whipping, I'll do the paddling, I'll be firm. But the ball busting, I can't enjoy that, because I'm thinking being a mommy dom, being a nurturing dom, like I have to take care of that later. I have to like aftercare that later.
So
I don't know how.
There was a guy, he literally was like going down. I felt like the ball busting train. Like he just wanted.
Yeah.
And listen, let's be honest. Some people pick being a dom not for the right reasons. I'll just say that.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
So this dude got kicked in his balls so much for the weekend, he went to the hospital afterwards, and they like, listen, if you keep doing this, I think they were saying like testicular cancer type joint.
Oh yeah, when you repeatedly harm a specific area and it doesn't heal, like that's how you get cancer. is your body is trying to repair something over and over again, and it's just it's not happening.
All right, so I see you, Rain. Hey, Rain. Hey, Lorenzo. Hey, all of y'all. I'm tracking on something else. This is our first time doing a live, so just bear with me. But yeah, the whole ball busting thing. Ugh. Mm-hmm. So Rain made a good point. She says she wants to become a dom, mostly femdom, but she doesn't know where to start. What would you tell her?
I would say, one, it has to be something that you're passionate about. I mean, I can say that majority of women have that dog in them, and they want to really give it to men. But you can't just ask for money and expect it to just be handed over. A lot of these men talk to you because they want companionship. They want someone to talk to. These are men who just chat online because they can't talk to women in person. Or it's something that they feel like is a naughty thing that they're doing, is not accepted. So they want to be hush hush about it. They want to be secretive about it in their normal life. And you're their outlet. So a lot of women think that, oh, if I just post on my Twitter, if I just post on my OnlyFans that I want money, send it now, or you're not a good sub, that's off-putting to a lot of them because they want to build that relationship and build that trust. And a lot of the sales really are going to happen in your DMs. You're going to have to work for it a little bit. You're kind of like the customer service representative to them. And being a salesperson too, and really being authentic with it. If you're not authentic, people are going to sniff you out right away. A lot of these people have been in this lifestyle for a long time. They know who's real. They know who's not. They know who's just trying to be a dom to get your money and who's actually doing it because they enjoy doing what they do.
Like I said, there's a lot of people that's getting into it not for the right reasons.
Oh yeah.
I often say, and this is probably going to have a lot of people hate me, I normally say people who's trying to get into this industry the easy way, go to feet, fin, and femdom. Because they think those are the easiest alleys to go down to, thinking, oh, all I have to do is show my feet and someone to throw money. Some dudes will. But the real true feet guys, they're going to be like, nah, you ain't even arching it the right way. You're not even, there's certain poses that they know that you're not even accustomed to. You know what I mean? Same thing with the femdoms. And listen, there's a whole new move, and I don't technically like it, of women that just want to inflict pain on men. That's not what being a dom is.
No. It's not. You know, there's so much to being a dom. And like I said, I'm more of like the mommy dom, like nurturing dom. There are like BDSM full pain doms. Like there's a spectrum of where you want to be. What I would suggest if you're trying to get into it is follow a bunch of different dom profiles, whether they're good at it, whether they're not good at it. Study what they do. Find out what you like and go that direction. Go on that part of the spectrum. If you are someone who punishes but then nurtures afterwards, a lot of men really like that because a lot of them, it's more of like a childhood thing. It's a comfort thing. It's something that they want to feel noticed. They want to feel some sort of care. But they also want to be put in their place. So some men want just the pain. And that's it. They don't want the care. They don't want anything. They just want the pain and they just want to go right afterwards. So you have to find your audience. You have to figure out what's comfortable for you. Because if it's not comfortable for you, it's going to show. You're going to look awkward. You're going to look weird. You're going to look like you don't know what you're doing. You're going to look like a fraud. So if it's not something you're into and you're just getting into it for the money, people will definitely sniff it out immediately.
No, 100. Like, you know, like I like the women when I'm, you know, trying to work with them. to be like, I'm about whatever. I'm like, oh, word. And I just start throwing little stuffs at them. And they be like,
and they're like,
whatever.
oh no, I don't do that. Oh no, I don't
That's
do
why
that.
even
I'm like, then you aren't down for what?
Even when you said my no list is shorter than my, and I was like, okay, what's your no list? You know what I mean? Because now I know what perimeters I could work with. I'm like, okay, cool. But if your nose, I have another friend of mine. She says if the nose, if there's too many no's, just walk away because that person will eventually be a problem at the end, which is fine.
Absolutely.
Which is fine that people have no's.
Industry, a lot of people think like you have to agree to everything to get where you want to be. No, you don't.
You learn that a lot. You learn that early because that's what you see. You see so many different people doing so many different things. So you think they're just with whatever, but it's like you don't know what it is, and you're learning it each day. I mean, there's things that I can say that I taught the tech about when I first started. I was like, "Hey, bro, what do you think about this?" He's like, "No, don't do it." Because you stick with you. I'm like, "Bet." And you just learn, and it's like you don't have to do everything. Like you can really make your own lane and be successful, but a lot of people want to see what's the easiest and fastest way to get paid. Not how do I create my brand, but how do I just get paid? And it's like they're doing things that are morally in their own compass, like destroying them, and they don't even realize it. And it's like you're literally just breaking yourself down. In the next 5 years, you're gonna be like, I hate it here, and not even that. Maybe the first year, And I'm not sure, Ivy, like how long you've been around per se.
Yeah, you missed that because you were late.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I told you I was going to be there, but so anyway, I was really interrupted. In this first year, I guarantee you probably already haven't even noticed probably about like 10 to 15 people that were around when you were around aren't even here anymore, ain't doing it no more, or complaining or crying about something. Like, I can't do this. And it's like, you thought you knew what you were doing, and the next thing you know, you found out it was hard.
Yeah, I have a strong example for that. I was trying to find creators in Virginia to collab with, and there's not a lot of people out here, and if they are, they're nowhere to be found because they don't know how to advertise themselves properly. And then the other thing is actually connecting with the creator when you reach out to them and them not flaking on you. So it's like the difference between like, do you want it and be a professional, or are you just trying to get by with some extra cash? It's one or the other. So if you're all in, like you got to be all in. There's some people who do this with a day job, and they're not being as successful as they can be because they've got their brain one place and their brain in another place, and you can't put all of your energy into something that could really, really, really be successful. And I finally met a creator in the area, and she was like, yeah, like I do this, I do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what's your niche though? And she's like, oh, well, I'm just kind of like a brat. Very quickly, I found out, and that's another thing. We're talking about doms. Let's talk about brats.
I hate them.
There's a difference between being a brat and being a bitch. There is a huge difference. When you're a brat, you expect a punishment for being that way.
Right.
When you're a bitch, you don't want the punishment. You're just doing it to be a bitch.
Fact.
That's it.
I don't get me wrong, I am very versed in giving punishment. But if you're seeking punishment, that's not the point of this exercise.
Right.
It's not punishment.
Right. You want it. That's a reward.
Pleasure.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
That is a reward. You're not getting
100%.
rewarded for your behavior.
100%.
You get denied the reward. You get denied what you're looking to get. And then when you're least expecting it is when you get punishment.
Right. Oh, I'm very psychological with
the punishment.
I'm like, okay, what you don't like? You don't like eating green beans? Cool. There you go.
Yeah. Eat it.
Fact. Because that's what it is. A punishment is supposed to correct behavior. You know, a reward is supposed to encourage behavior. Like, you know what I mean? So I can't encourage you being a brat by giving you exactly what you want. You know, that just makes no sense.
Yeah. So we got a little off track on my
trip. Now when you said brat, that just
I was like, oh, sorry, we had to talk about that for a second. Back to what we were talking about. We found a creator. She said she's a brat. I said, cool. Do you just do solo stuff? She said, no. I have someone who I film with often, but I don't film with everybody because I have a specific kind of like person that I like. I need to be able to trust them, and like, cool, that's all cool. It's all consensual. It's like what you're comfortable with. Now, I will tell you, if you are trying to do collabs with only people you're comfortable with, you need to be a little bit more open to being more accepting of more people if that's the direction you want to go. If you don't want to be just solo, because one, people are going to get tired of seeing the same person with the same person all of the time. And then when there's sparks of new people, you get people interested again. Mm-hmm. So you can't have that one partner where you're doing content with constantly. That's fine. But always adding a little bit of spice in there once in a while makes the anticipation of like, okay, cool, they're coming out with another video. That's hot. They're coming out with another video together. That's hot. Oh, they're with a new person this time? Oh, hell yeah, I'm ready to watch that. Like, and knowing that that is eventually going to come. So there are people who just do stuff with their partner and they're very successful. And there's people who only do solo stuff. And that's great. But you need to be really good at advertising what you do in order to be successful in what you're trying to do. She didn't know how to advertise herself. She was kind of just throwing things at the wall. She got so burnt out that she had to just stop it completely. She didn't want to do it anymore. She had like a mental health breakdown, and that'll do that to people. That will, like you said, you see people like a year prior who were doing this, who aren't doing it anymore. They couldn't handle it. And it's a dog-eat-dog world doing this. You either join in on the drama or you kind of just sit back and watch and learn from the people who are just talking to get the clout, trying to join in the conversation to be part of the clout. Like, you kind of have to see the people who are authentic, people who don't get in the drama, people who just kind of like observe and see the facts and notice the facts, but also sit back and be like, okay, well, we don't know these people's intentions. So I don't know a lot of people in the community, and I kind of just base my opinion off of their behavior online. And
because that's the only way you have,
because I don't know them.
But that's the only thing you have to go based off of is how they interact online and stuff of that nature.
And some people don't know how to behave.
No, some people take Twitter. Some people take Twitter and Facebook either too seriously or as their diary.
Right.
Yep.
And some people just want to join in on other people's arguments to just be a part of the drama so that they can get their name out there.
So,
just for the diary though, as long as that's not your business.
It's on your business page is horrible.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no one wants to see a bunch of people complaining about, like this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. Maybe once in a while, and it's okay to voice all of this stuff, but really you are advertising a product. And people want to see the product and they want to feel like they know you. But if all they see is you complaining about what you do and complaining about the industry, it's like, that's not what I'm here for. Like, that's cool and all. I'm not part of the industry, so I don't really know what this drama is you're talking about. But let's get back to seeing some boobies. Let's get back to, like, that's 100%. What they're thinking. Like, you're trying to sell a product.
So Just for Kids React says, for some people get into the lifestyle because of money problems, not because they have a love of the industry.
Yeah, I would say don't do it.
Tech, that's our guy right here. That's
I would
who
say
that
if
is.
you don't enjoy it, don't do
guy.
it.
Our guy that's coming. That's who Just for Kicks it. I'll text it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, damn. Why don't he just use his? I'm so
Yeah.
confused. But I
I
mean,
text
I'm
you,
not confused anymore. I get it. When
Yeah,
you
but
said
no.
this, when you started doing your little Cyclops thing, I was like, all
you should have been like this.
right,
I should have.
yeah.
Bring it back
But
to the
anyway,
old times.
let's bring it
No,
back. Though. What's up, though?
no, there is a lot of people in this for money issues. So you brought up a thing. You say people with the 9 to 5 versus people that do it 100%. Okay, let me ask you this question: have you found a difference in how people treat the business aspect or the professionalism based on whether they have a 9 to 5 versus they just do this out the gate, no real work experience whatsoever? What has your take been on that?
I would say if you are just turning 18, you need to have at least had like some sort of customer service job, some sort of job where you needed to sell something. I would say waitress is the best one because one, you're trying to sell something on the menu. You're trying to make sure that your bill is as high as it can be so that you get the biggest tip in the end. And your customer service and how you treat people and how you can kind of maneuver situations when something goes awry, when something goes sour. You need to be able to save that relationship. I had a phone, like I had a communication job where I was a customer service rep for Citibank. So I had to deal with people who were going to collections and like credit cards, like and working in credit cards was crazy to me because I had to be on top of my game. And when I wasn't, it showed. And I got in trouble for it because like I was talking to Jordan about this. I really don't have like time for BS. I don't have the temper for it. I don't have the fuse for it. It's if I know you're BSing me, I'm gonna call you out. And that's the Scorpio in me. I don't have time. I can read people like that. Like you're not gonna get one by me. I'm not gonna let you try to. So I would say if you're getting into this industry and you're young, you need to make sure that you had some sort of job where you could practice those skills because you're going to get the time waste. You're going to call you up for not giving them what they want. They're going to be mean. They're going to be ruthless. You have to have a thick skin. If you haven't explored yourself and discovered yourself and know yourself for who you are and accepting who you are, they're gonna eat you alive. You're not gonna be successful and you're gonna end up worse than when you started.
What about as far as the flakiness or because in my experience, and this is just me, people that have worked regular jobs or 9 to 5s, whatever, tend to be kind of more on their business than the other side. And there's no shade to the other side. It's just if you don't have the skill set, you just don't have the skill set.
Right. And a lot of people don't know when to say no. And a lot of people don't know how to hold their ground. So if you are just kind of a pushover, you need to learn some like boundaries for yourself, not just for other people, but for yourself. Like, what am I willing to do? How far am I willing to go? Where am I going to stop? Right. And I would say that people with 9 to 5s, they can be successful in this, but you need to be able to separate your time properly. It's like leaving your work at home. Well, when you go home, you're working again. You're still working and you're going to wear yourself out. And you, like I said, like one brain is here, the other brain is here. You need to be able to change and switch into that next brain when you come home and put the work in. Because if you want this to be your main job, and you want to quit that day job, your 9 to 5, and you want to really like hone in on that, you're going to have to double time it, because everybody who's in this industry doing this full time is doing it during that 9 to 5 and when you're working on your side hustle. Like, we are doing this from 9 a.m. to 3 in the morning, and then we get up and do it again. You're taking part of that time that you could be really making a lot of money doing something else. And that's fine. That pays your bills. But you won't be as successful in making this your main thing if you're not putting the effort that you need to, because you're so worn out from that 9 to 5.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So we touched on, we've been dancing all around this place.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that you were going to be so like the way you are. So I definitely appreciate that.
I appreciate that. I've gotten that. Some people think I'm just a dumb block.
I didn't think that. I didn't know you. I've never even really corresponded with you.
Like, I'm surprised that you are so like on it and professional and
well spoken, the whole nine. Like, you're not like, well, I very, very, very impressed.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Stay on topic. Stop gassing her up. No, I'm just kidding.
I have to give props when props is due.
It's you don't need to. You can already tell. Look how she moves.
Hey, let me eat it up. Let me take it in.
No, I'm just kidding.
So you said, so what else are some of your kinks? You only named one.
Okay, so I am really big into water sports. I love water sports. Again, that's a thing that a lot of people are not into. They don't like watching it. They don't like seeing it.
It's one of my good sellers.
Yeah, I love it. I can't. I would say the reason why I like it is because I think it's the most disrespectful thing that you can do to somebody. That's why I like it.
So you like doing it or receiving it?
Both. Sometimes I have videos of me actually like doing it to myself, like in the shower, like legs up, like peeing onto myself. Yeah.
So Tech, you grabbing a beer?
So most people don't know, and I'm gonna be candid. Me and Jordan talk about every fucking day, right? So last night I came home from a concert and I had to pee.
Oh my god!
But it was on me, like it was like my bladder was full.
Yeah.
So as you know how you be peeing and talk on the phone, hoping the person doesn't hear you peeing while talking on the phone. So at one point, Jordan was like, "Are you still peeing?" And I was like, "Cause it was long. It was very long." And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "But that's what I'm known for. Like when I do that."
He should have been, "Are you filming it?"
No,
I don't film myself.
If you were a real friend, Jordan, you should get your camera out. You should have been filming this.
So I don't certain aspects of my life I don't film. Like me by myself, that's my private time.
Yeah.
Not me peeing by myself, but me by myself.
Hey, there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
There's an audience for everything.
But I'll tell you this story and we can move past it and find out your
other. Yes, please. Can we talk about something else after this?
But
it'd be great.
There was a group of guys and we had a water sport gangbang. And I beat all of them. I heard
this story.
That's my fantasy, honestly.
I even had them start first and then me come in, and they all were falling out and I was still going.
They're dropping like flies.
Yeah, they couldn't hang. They couldn't hang. I even gave them a head start.
Yeah.
Wait, if they go first, wouldn't they finish first anyway?
But I'm talking about the duration. I kept going. Like
he outlasted all of them.
Yeah. Even I was like the Energizer Bunny.
Okay.
So
all right. What's next? So what else can we talk about?
So, Jordan, you don't like water sports?
Haven't done it.
Now that's one thing that has to be consensual on both parts.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not interested in it all, it's something like you just want to try it to like please the other person. It's not enjoyable for the person doing it. You're like, I don't want to do it. If you're not into it, I'm not into it. It makes me feel like I'm asking you to do. It's like a guy asking a girl to do anal when they only want to do it for the birthday. And it's like, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. It's not enjoyable. You don't want to do it.
So gifts that women give to men for special holidays and birthdays.
Oh my god!
It's a holiday year round for me because
I gotta get the TikTok out. What do you want for your birthday, babe? I got this pussy.
Right.
Babe, I just been shot. What can I do for you? I'll give you some of this pussy. like, babe, I need a couple of dollars. Well, how about some of this pussy? Like, what? Like, that's all you got to offer?
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. That's it.
You got more than one hole down there. You sure you don't?
No.
Ivy.
I'm clutching my pearls over here. So what's another one of your kinks?
I really enjoy rimming. I enjoy.
Hey.
Tag, you're in.
Hey. What's up, buddy?
I enjoy rimming.
Hey, friend.
I would say that rimming is literally like, so some girls will like come from like giving head, like I come from rimming. Like that is my thing.
What?
Yeah. That's my thing.
Yes, let's go.
And I love eating pussy. I would say like rimming and like eating pussy are like, they go hand in hand. There's a little bit more work with the pussy. Yeah.
So now I have a scene concept. So thank you. But thank you. But why? Do you have an oral fixation?
I do. I have an oral fixation. Anything with my tongue, like I will, like girls will have to tell me to stop because it's like
I've been told that too.
Do that.
It's not just you.
But yeah, they're like, look, I've come and I can't. It's too sensitive down there. Like I can't do it anymore. And then like I'm also someone who like will suck for like continue sucking after you come because like the act of doing it is such a turn on to me, and the fact that you don't like it's like orgasm torture. So that's I guess where like my dom side comes in, where it's like you're going to have to ask me to stop because I'm not going to. Like I will, like you said, you're the Energizer Bunny. I would say if I have sex, that's just an appetizer. Like you do understand that while you're recovering, like I'm still going to, like you're going to have to recover at some point. I will play with myself until you're ready, but we're going like 3, 4, 5 times. Like if you can't keep up with that, like that's cool, but I will make sure that I finish more than 2, 3, 4 times. Because that just gets me started. You give me a taste, like I'm ready for 5 miles. Like it's something that like I've only found a few people that can keep up. And it's not just me saying that. I'm like, no. Like if I'm with somebody and they're done, I will either look for someone else within that same day, or I will just handle it myself. It's yeah.
Well,
yes.
A little scared.
I know. I wear some people out sometimes.
A little terrifying there. So are those your top? Well, I think we went 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would say water sports. Yeah. I do enjoy anal. I do enjoy rimming. I do enjoy eating pussy. I would say I really enjoy like being disrespected, like slapped around, spit on, like dirty talk, like calling me like the C word, calling me like a dirty whore, like all of the above, like do it. Do it. Like I want to be used. Like when I'm in my subspace, like I want to be used. Like however you want. Like I said, I'm limitless. I have my few limits, but I'm pretty limitless. So when I want to be like cage me, like do the most disrespectful things that you think like you can do, like pee in a water dish and like make me drink. Do disrespectful things to me. But when I'm a dom,
it's the other way.
Take charge. I will do what I want.
So
and what I feel in that moment.
So you bring up a great thing. So on your sub side, you're so far to one side. Now, is that the same? But how you kind of explained your dom side, not so much.
I would say it's more of like guys do, like they want to give up their like dominant side. I want to give up my submissive side because I've got pent up angst or stress or whatever, and that's my outlet to release that. There's a different outlet for kind of like just like my sex drive is being used, but my angst or like my anger or my stress is being taken out on my dom side because I get to expend that. I get to push that out of me instead of accepting punishment for my sexual needs and desires.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So noted.
Everyone out there, take notes.
Noted. So Jordan, so this is an SBU edition. We're going to talk a little bit about SBU. We have an event coming up in, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, something of that nature.
3 weeks.
We're doing an all girls sorority house, where we have some sexy ladies come from all over the U.S. to a specific location. We have some great ideas in mind, but we want to, I guess, diminish the word scumbag because some people take it as an offense. And it's really not. First, let me tell you the story of how we came up with Scumbag U.
Yeah.
So me and this young gentleman here was sharing a room in Jersey, separate bunks. He had his bed, I had mine.
Oh, you don't want to cuddle?
Just throwing it out there. So we were making joke. Both of us have 2 phones. Well, now I have 3, but most we have 2 phones, right?
I would say I think most creators have 2 phones.
She's a scumbag.
So we were like, so as we're talking about this, we're like, yeah, that's some scumbag shit. Like we're saying everything that scumbags would have to, what's their requirements.
Right.
So as I'm sitting there, and then Jordan said something like, could you imagine us like teaching a class on how to be a scumbag? And these are the criteria you must have. And I remember like pausing for a minute and I was like, yeah, let's do that. And he was like, what? I was like, let's do that. Like, let's do all the shit you were just talking about. Let's do that. Yeah. And so the birth of Scumbag U. So Jordan, do you want to take over the reins and explain what scumbag means? Since you want to put it out there so early.
It's not early. We've been, like you stated. I mean, well, this is 2022. Honestly, that this stuff has been coming to fruition. Late 2022. When we did this at one of the events. But before I get into that, though, I want to ask Ivy a question. So we say it's Scumbag U, and we get this. We have a few people getting a negative connotation about it, like, oh my god, like why would you want to be called scumbags, this and that? Like why? Like that just sounds so derogatory, yada yada yada. If you had to take a guess what we're trying to convey with scumbag means, what would you say? No right or wrong answer.
I mean, like I feel like it's on the lines of like gooning, like. It's like what
You say
do you think is
gooning?
like have you heard of that? Like gooning?
No, it's not gooning. No, but
No, is that a
Okay.
northern thing?
No,
It's something that people like talk about where it's like you just constantly are just like whacking it to
Yeah.
porn and
It's like a
you
cam
just
thing
can't get
too.
enough.
Oh,
Like,
word?
people be like, yeah, they be like to Marilyn all the time. I'm still gooning over you and your man's BBC,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. But no,
Yeah.
that's
So
a good
no,
guess.
it's not that.
Yeah, not at
Okay.
all. So here's the thing: when we were talking about it, all right,
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure, Ivy. Do you what kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, everything but country.
Okay,
Everything
so
but country.
you know who ASAP Rocky is.
Yes.
So you know the ASAP mob.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the ASAP stands for?
No.
It's like always strive and prosper.
Okay.
But
I was today years old too, so don't feel bad.
hey,
I'm glad.
I'm like one of
It's not
those
alone.
dudes that like legit is like a Jeopardy kind of person. Like I just have like
Mhm.
abundance of random knowledge in my head. But anyway, so when we're talking about Scumbag, we're like, you know what? This is some funny stuff right here. But like we're joking about it, but let's actually make it mean something like way more than what it is.
Right.
Because all right, you look at you got a chance to meet Tech. You and I've talked for some time now. I don't come off as a scumbag at all, right?
No,
You would say I'm
neither
a
of you
pretty
do. Neither
Hey,
exactly.
of you
I mean,
do.
hey,
no,
I am
he's a
very
scumbag.
scumbaggy.
He's such a scumbag. Like, he's the worst scumbag there is. So here's where it comes down to. When we talk about scumbag, each letter is supposed to mean something, and that's what we adhere to. So,
Okay.
so we talk about S. That means stay. So it goes stay creative under malicious behavior, adhering generosity. That's what scumbag means. So as,
Head
as a
exploded. You
university,
seen that? You seen the fuse? Bomb.
stay creative under malicious behavior, adhering generosity. And the thing is, when you think about it, it's like, all right, these guys here, like you see me and Tech, we're always talking shit online. We're always saying some stuff, but we're always coming with true. We're always coming with like, some type of valor and something that is just really like, all right, uplifting in a sense of like, we're going to give it to you raw. We're going to let you know how it is, but we're going to stay who we are and stay like, you can't sit here. If someone says anything negative or malice about us, check your sources beforehand because we're not those kind of people. We don't move that kind of way. So for us, we're like, all right, let's be fun with it. Let's have jokes. Let's have a good time, but still being able to, adhere to generosity and being good people in this industry because there ain't too many of us. I like to say we're like the last of the Mohegans, but at the end of the day, people don't understand that because they just see the letters because they're not ready for it yet. So now it's like, yeah, maybe it's never too early because we've been working on this. We already have scenes. We already have merch, but it's like, all right, we need to get this get this out there. And this is the best way to do it is like put it on a public platform and people can understand it, and have the girls that we have coming. That's why we made the sorority because it's like, we want the girls to be like, they were some amazing scumbags. And it's like, damn, like, what do you mean? So it's like, once every one of you guys know what it means, it's like, shit, they really are those kind of guys. They like that's why we're like, look, we want to make sure that you guys are good at the end of the day during this content house, and not really be like, hey, how can we like, do this as much as
how can we manipulate the situation into our favor?
Because
and I think that's a great thing that you guys are doing, and like putting that, just like being the example that should be out there already, especially in this.
Because here's the thing with Tech, he's going to be like, all right, I need y'all to do the X, Y, Z. Unless he has something planned, his ass is going to sleep. And he's going, and that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. So it's not like no one trying to take advantage of the models or anything like that. We're just trying to convey like, hey, this is what we want, and whatever set up like on the side or whatever you do is what you do. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we want you to be able to, optimize and make as much content as possible during the time. But obviously, we still have a business to run. But we're not going to try and make it like a slimy business. It's just a scumbag business. And that's just
you're not trying to pull one over on somebody. You're not trying to make this a take advantage type of situation. And
Yeah,
I think that's a great thing that you guys are setting an example for the rest of the industry, because I hear too many horror stories of content houses gone wrong, or people not being who they have conveyed themselves to be. Now, that's never happened to me because I can see right through you. So don't try it, guys. But there's a lot of people who are very impressionable or new in this industry who just feel like that's just how it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are, smoke and mirrors, and people fall for people's things. And I'm gonna be quiet because I have a lot that I can possibly say, but I'm not gonna be a bad person here.
No, fuck all that. Fuck that.
Oh.
They will go to these houses just because someone got 3,000 followers, no content up whatsoever, and their name is Slick Dick 99 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, right. Like, let's talk about it for real. For real. There's no, like, even now, it's crazy. And I'm gonna say this and because I'm on both sides of the spectrum. I'm on the porn side and I'm on the fetish side. There's more fetish models who've went through my actual references than the porn side.
That's crazy.
There's more fetish models that, okay, when I send out my list or my introduction or whatever, there's a couple of references that I have on there. They have reached out to those models and stuff that I've worked with prior, or they might say, well, hey, who can I speak about on your character? I had one come, last week or whatever, and she's like, hey, I was just with 2 people that gave you outstanding references. Like, they can't stop talking good shit about you, Versus the porn side, I will send them references, and they don't, double check them.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like, again, it's being a professional and being organized, and like when you're asking for tests, like tests have to be presented. When you're asking for references, they have to be checked. You are in charge of your own safety in this industry. You need to make sure that the people who you're filming with are going to be someone you feel safe with. And you can pick and choose who you want to shoot with, but there's a lot of models in this industry who are trying to get by through doing this, and they will take anything and everything, and they will take the abuse, and they'll be like, well, that's just how it is. No, it's not. That's not how it should be. You are in charge of your own safety, and you need to make sure that you're vetting people. If you're asking for references and being lazy about not checking them, that is an on you problem. Now, being in that situation is never right, but you need to make sure that you're putting yourself in the proper situation.
This is how far it gets. Even in that same letter that I introduced myself and all that stuff too, they will still come back. Mind you, everything's in that. They will still ask me, well, what are we filming? Stuff like that. I'm like, so I've started getting to the point now, if I get, and I hate to be like this, and this is probably why I'm, by myself a lot of times. I'm starting to be now, if you ask me a dumb question that I already explained, I'm just done with conversation with you. Like, I'm just not.
I'm with you.
I'm just like, not doing it.
Go reread what I texted you and then get back to me.
Yeah, I'm not doing, like, legit. If I say this is what we're shooting or this is what I want to shoot, and you come back with what are we shooting, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, this is already like telling of what the future is going to be, and I'm not about it.
Yeah,
if you're going to be like this and flaky mindset wise, you're going to be flaky when we go to shoot.
Yeah, 100%. So now that you've heard what scumbag means and all that, like, how do you feel about it? I mean, not that you felt any way about it before, but how do you feel about it now?
I feel, again, like, I feel like it's a good movement. I feel like it is the example that needs to be presented in the industry. Like, the tides are turning, and there's a lot of people speaking out about their experiences. And I saw one of your podcasts about just like producers and how
you watch my shit.
I did. I did a little.
Oh
I did
my
a little
God.
homeworks. I did a little homeworks. But yeah,
I'm more impressed by that because it's like, yo, before I just go and do something, let me see what's popping.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, you give reference, you check on them. You're about to do something, do your homework, because you can't just go into things blindly and expect things to be all sunshine, rainbow, and happiness when you're not protecting yourself or you're not making sure that you're prepared for something. And that's why I don't shoot with majority of people, is because they will not be prepared in their mind. Like you said, like, I have to keep repeating things to you. I'm done. I'm not desperate for this.
Especially with you with your short list of no's, and they'd be like, so what's your nose again?
Right. The Dom side of me is just like, it's short fused, it's short tempered, it's done. Like, I'm not dealing with this. There's people who know how to follow directions and know how to listen, and you're not one of them. And I'm not going to waste my time.
Even this is enough to turn me off, and I have it so many times where I'm like, hey, I have this particular opportunity, DM, a bunch of comments. I'm not paying you no attention.
Right.
You clearly can't follow directions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's clearly stated here to DM me if you want to do XYZ. You don't need to publish it to the world that you want to do it, because that's not what I asked you to do.
Because trust me, when someone has an opportunity for me,
what's going to happen in person?
When someone has an opportunity of me, I'm not saying, "Ooh, pick me, pick me, pick me." I'm jumping in your DMs like, "Hey, what's up with that opportunity?"
Right, right, because you're serious about it.
Yeah.
If people are looking for work and they want to be picked by these producers, or they want to be picked to do this collab from people who are actually professional and serious about it, you need to come professional and serious. Just because it looks all fun and games and what we do is so fun and like free and whatever, like, there is a business side of it. You do have to put your business hat on, and how you approach people is so important. Me and Jordan have had this conversation about how women approach him and his partner, and what's the respectful way to do it. It's just like when you're approaching a female creator, you're not going to go into her DMs and say like, "Hey, baby, you're sexy. Let's do a collab." It's like,
a lot do.
They do.
Like, thank you.
Do.
But like, also, you're a professional. It's kind of a little like off-putting that you're like being a little bit more flirtatious with me. Like, yeah, we can have some fun and like flirt and whatnot. But also, like, if you're trying to collab with me, don't like love bomb me with stuff. Like, we are both professionals in this industry, and we can work this out without making it weird or making it feel like aggressive, you know?
So devil's advocate. I've seen both sides. I've seen where guys have approached women on very cut and dry. I mostly approach women on the cut and dry.
Right.
They don't like that approach because I'm just like, matter of fact, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you do, it's almost like back to the punishment and rewards. If you find out what gives you the rewards, you're going to do that more than what's going to give you the punishment. And a lot of the dudes now are doing what they feel will give them the rewards versus what's going to give them the punishment. And a lot of women are encouraging the reward part versus, you see what I'm saying? So
I do see that.
If more, and I'm not just saying women, if more people were just professional to begin with, we wouldn't have all these blurred lines. It would be, this is what we're here for. I even seen where you responded to a vibe question that I had.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been blowing up since August of last year still. You know, every now and again I retweet and see what the thing is.
Yeah.
Even like some people, like yours was very put together and I understood what you were saying about it. Some people were like, nah, if we can't vibe, we can't work. And it's like, and we don't necessarily need the vibe to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's just the shoe. Sometimes it's just to get paid. Sometimes it's just to do what you need to do to get by. If you're doing that type of scene, cool, do it. If you're not, don't put yourself in that situation.
Right. But so that's why a lot of dudes are coming up with, think about it. If we as creators, producers, porn stars, whatever, didn't use the terminologies that we use, the vanilla people wouldn't know what those terminologies were.
Oh, yeah.
You know, now everyone's like collab, 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 collab. Hey, collab, this. And I'm like,
oh, I have so much to say about this.
Well, go ahead.
So much. This is probably my biggest pet peeve is when, and this is like the female side of things. And that's why I said what I said when it's like, oh, you're sexy, let's do a collab. Okay. First thing I do when I get that in my DMs, I'm going to click on your profile. I'm going to look at your feed. I'm going to see what you post. Oh, you don't have any posts or followers? I'm sorry. Definition of collab is when two parties come together for a mutual benefit. Your audience and my audience are going to advertise and bring a new audience to my audience and my audience to your audience, and we build together. That is a collab. If you are not posting anything, even solo stuff on your wall, and I just see sports and I see like no porn at all, that's not a collab. That is, you are asking me to have sex. That's what it is. Can I have sex with you on camera? Oh, and then can I get profit from that? From you selling it? I hate that question. Yeah. I hate that question. My first question when I get that to them in response is, oh, are you an established creator? Or do you have your content posted anywhere else? Because I don't see any on your profile. Oh, you're not a creator. You're just breaking into the industry. Oh, I'm trying to start my page. Great. Cool. We're going to do a page shoot.
And that's fine.
Yeah. But if you want to build your profile, in order until you get to that space, it will be a paid shoot for my time because it is a one-sided benefit for you. I need a benefit for me.
Listen, I knew I made it. One, when a specific model, I'll say her name, Lila Lovely, hit me up out of the blue and she was like, hey, I want to work with you. Now, I was still fairly new. Like I've been moving, but I was still fairly new. So maybe at this time, she was probably maybe one of the biggest models that I've worked with up to that. And she's like, nah, I want to work with you. And I was like, when something like that happens, you almost want to be like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, what's the catch?
You know what I mean? Like, are you real? Is this a catfish?
Where's that in picture?
Right. But no, work, knocked the scene out. It was great. Every time I see her, it's always love. Like, she will stop whatever she's doing and be like, yo, come in. You know what I mean? Like, every time. There's a difference in going out and coaching collabs or someone to actually be like, no, I've seen your work. I like what you do. Let's work together. Let's collab. And I'm glad
that's
that
a professional way to approach that.
And I'm glad that you broke that down because anytime a girl says, let's collab, in my mind, we're doing trade.
Yeah.
Off rip. Until you get down to the line. And then this is even crazier because we were talking about the scene. She'd give her input. I'll give my input, thinking this is trade. And then we get to the end and then she'd be like, so how much am I getting paid for this? And be like, wait, what?
What? What?
Oof.
Because if I'm paying you, I don't need your input on
what
anything.
you're looking for.
Right. I don't need
Don't
your
jerk me around.
if I'm paying you, I don't need your input on shit. I already know what I want to shoot.
Exactly. I will be shooting the scene and what I'm wanting to shoot, and you will agree or disagree on things you're comfortable with, and that's how
We
it's gonna
move
go.
on. Right. Even for dry bone now I have where they wear a certain outfit. And if you don't want to wear that outfit, it's okay. But this is what I'm shooting. This is what I need. I don't need to deviate. If I'm handing you money, I don't need to deviate from what I really want to shoot.
Yes.
Either you want to shoot it or you don't.
Right.
And I'm okay with it regardless.
Right. And that's where women have to understand their own boundaries and understand themselves and make sure that they aren't spineless. They need to speak up if you're agreeing to do something. And that is what was presented to you at the beginning. You cannot turn around and say, I did something, they made me do something that was uncomfortable, because you already agreed to the terms. Now, if those terms change, that's when you can speak up and say, this is not what I was expecting to do. This is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I signed up for. That's a different story. But don't come, and I feel like that happens a lot for male models. And I feel like there's a lot of female models out there that do it too, where they are the abuser of the situation. And a man is scared to speak up about it because he's going to feel like he's a bitch. You got to be able to have a backbone and know your worth and know your boundaries and know when to speak up at the time that it happens.
No,
it's very important.
Very, because I don't like that. Months,
bringing it up
years,
2 years later.
Yeah, I fuck all that. Like,
I understand that sometimes people are scared to share their stories and they feel like they're alone, but one voice builds other people's voices. Yeah. If you have an incident that happened, you need to speak up about it then and there and have receipts to show.
And sometimes if you pay attention to those situations too, the other party involved may have had no idea they even crossed the line or boundary or any of that.
Right. And it's like, okay, I learned from this situation on me needing to speak up, and it wasn't that person's fault for not knowing because I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
There is a difference between not speaking up and just saying yes and consenting during the time and saying no, and then someone doing the thing that you said no to. Those are different situations. You can't say yes and say, I didn't want to do that. You have to be able to say no in this industry, and that is a big thing. And like people need to learn that no is no.
I had a model we did, I think it was a hand job scene. Anyways, so the finishing part, and she's like, oh, well, had you let me know, I would have like catch it or something. I was like, nope, we didn't talk about that. So it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I was like, it would have been great for you to say that before, but we ain't talk about it. So I'm not just gonna say, hey, catch this, and you be like, no, and then it may have crossed the, you know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then that makes an awkward situation, especially when you're like in person in the middle of doing something.
Right.
And then the person has the urge to just say yes to please the situation or not make the situation sour.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be clear defined scenes before you meet. There needs to be clear defined things that you want to hit, so that the other person isn't guessing on like, okay, is this going to be a good shoe? Is this going to be a bad shoe? Like I really don't know what to expect. That's when you get yourself in a dangerous situation because there's blurred lines. You need to make sure that there's clear instruction.
I've had models praise me on my call sheet. They be like, even studios aren't producing these call sheets the way you do. I've had other producers ask me for my call sheet because I feel like if I'm going to do something specific or whatever the case may be. Shoot house is a little different because it's a bunch of random stuff at one time. But when I'm shooting for something specific, I send someone a call sheet saying, "Hey, this is what we're shooting. You know, the time, date, place, location.
I
This is
love
what's
that.
going to be in the scene, even to the point of the pop shot where it's going to be, and not, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be as thorough
We need more abuse.
because I never want someone to be like, oh, I never knew this. Yet you said you agreed. It's right here. Like, you said you agreed to this, because you
But
have
that
to
also
agree to
covers
it
your
to be on
ass
the
too.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are speaking up about things who are just, one, trying to do it for clout, or two, they don't have any evidence supporting their claim, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous to people's livelihoods. That's dangerous to people's names and like slander. If you have a real, clear complaint, you need to be able to back it up. You cannot just spew random words, hearsay. Like, recently on the timeline, I've seen a lot of people saying, I've heard people say, have you experienced it? Did you hear this from this person? Is there proof of this happening? If there isn't,
shut up.
It's very hard for people to back you up or back up this claim. And then it comes out that that didn't happen, or that person had to be canceled for a certain amount of time from hearsay. That's crazy. Like, there are people out there who have legitimate claims. You can't just be putting hearsay out there.
But that's literally how most of the cancels happen, though. It's like, it's most of it's hearsay, and then it's like, it's unfortunate.
Damn, I forgot you were here for a minute. Nah, just fuck. Someone says you look bored. Someone just texted me, you look bored, my guy. Legit.
Oh. You did too. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it is time for me to go.
No.
I don't even want to. I'm good. I don't want to. I'll let you guys talk. How do I get out of this chat? How do I get out of this chat?
No, okay, finish, bro. Finish what you're gonna say.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
You're talking about people get canceled from hearsay.
Hearsay, slander, cancel culture.
No, it's fine.
Come on, I know it was gonna be really, really in depth. I was rooting for you.
No, it's all right. I'll root for myself. But it's all good. But yeah, no. Enjoy the rest of the
podcast. We need you here.
Yes, I need your energy.
I don't have any. I'm bored, so it's all good.
Oh God, no, but it is good. What you say. It is dangerous. It's very dangerous, and
don't get involved in things because you feel like that's important to do. I feel like if you're going to get involved, you need to have some solid evidence to claims that you're making, instead of just repeating what was said with no backup information.
Yeah. Even like there's a couple people that I'm not friends with or cool with or any of that stuff, but man, the vicious attacks in the person is like,
goodness.
And then I'm like, did y'all even work with it? Like, there's a difference between, listen, I don't care how much of an asshole I am off camera.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with how I operate on set.
Right. And if you've never worked with this person and there is no solidified proof of these things happening, I mean, look, I'm all about believing women when they speak up. But when people speak up for real things that happen, majority of the time they have receipts, they have proof, they have things, and maybe they make reports later on. but they have the proof to back it up.
No, I mean,
But if your work, yeah.
Me and Jordan's been in a situation where someone tried to cancel him, and it wasn't even legit. It wasn't even anything like legit. It wasn't like, it was the most fucked up thing, right? And you had so many women that never worked with him nor me blocking us, unfriending us over what this woman was saying, which I didn't even say anything. I'm just like, listen, showed the receipts, because I had the receipts from him. So I knew what the situation was. Right. You know what I mean? Even it was to the point where I had to tell him not to, just don't say anything, because I'm a firm believer. No one gives a fuck about the truth. They just cares who told it first, or who told the story first.
Exactly. And that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to find out later on, now people are like, oh, our bad. We shouldn't have really paid her no attention.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. And shoot, it's funny that, I'm pretty sure one of your shoes, Tech, when I talked to you about you in Vegas, I was like, yo, this person that you shot with got me blocked. I'm like, I wonder why. Made sense, but hey, again, it is about that. But it all worked out because that was probably my biggest selling month that I've ever had working in the industry. And it's like, it is what it is, though. People will find anything to try to like cancel you about. And meanwhile, there's like real deal predators out there. It's
real deal.
Yeah. There are some scary people, and you're muddling the waters with telling fake truths, and like, let these people, when they speak, be believed and not second guessed, because there's so many other people out there just trying to ride this clout train.
You said clout about 10 times, so I get where you go. Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what it is. It's like, okay, you are tagging this person in your post, but I've yet to see the receipts. I've yet to see proof to claim. Like, when it happened, you had a conversation with this person. That doesn't just go away. Like, that conversation is there. And if you are that worked up about it, you're going to take screenshots. It's going to be there.
Do you think
if you want to out someone, you're gonna do it.
Do you think it's because a lot of women throughout their lives, a man has done something to them that they haven't spoken up about? So now it's like
100%.
Everything I'm offended by, or they crossed the boundary, or they did this, or they did that. So now it's like overemphasized in this industry now.
I would say there's a lot of people who started doing this to get by and got successful doing it, but have not healed from their trauma. I can tell you that I've been in 3 physically and emotionally abusive relationships. And the last one that I finally got out of, I was in Tucson all alone, just me and my dog, and I had to figure out how to be an adult. I think that's the biggest thing, is like figuring out that you are now an adult and you have to act like it. We are not in high school anymore. We are not preteens. Like, we are adults. We need to learn how to communicate like adults. We need to learn how to behave like professionals. If you never had to do that and grow and figure yourself out for you and heal from your traumas, you are never going to let that go. That will be your behavior. And if you let your traumas dictate and guide your behavior, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Damn. You need to write a whole
philosopher.
Yeah. Not because it's fact. It's like, it goes back to using Twitter as your diary or whatever. that's not healing anything. That's not even canceling. Let's be honest. Most people can't cancel nobody.
Mm-hmm.
All you doing is momentarily putting a blight on their name. They go out of the shadows because we know the industry has a fucking mindset of a gnat. Then they come back and they do whatever they do again, and then everyone loves them again, and then it's all forgotten.
Right. That has to stop when like things are actually happening and this person is actually a shithead and they are actually abusive and there was facts and proof coming out that showed that. You should not be welcome back.
But guess what said?
The problem is.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Go ahead. I was just going to say that all that stuff could be true, but if that person has over 100,000 followers, people ain't going to give a damn. You know, even if the proof is in a pudding, and it's like what happens is people put people on pedestals, and it's like, well, you know, y'all create these monsters, you know, dick ride, and then it's like, well, what do you expect? You got to, as much as y'all dick rode this person, y'all got to do the same amount to bring them down, but actually have concrete proof to keep the rest of you guys safe. And it's like, until people do that, it's just like, they're going to continue to be that, you know, that predator.
I was going to say that, most people, you give them free press a lot of times.
That's true. That's true.
And there's a new person getting in this industry every day that hasn't seen the trails of bodies left before. And so the person hits them up and they're like, oh, you're sexy. I like, you know, whatever you got out. It didn't happen to me. That's what you hear. Well, it didn't happen to me. So, you know, and then they roll their dice, and whether it happens to them or not. Like me, I used to be a good friend of mine. Well, I thought this person was a shithead, clear shithead, but it didn't happen to me until it did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, you have to look out there. You have to do your research on people. You have, even if there are claims out there, you need to make sure that you are crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Make sure that that claim was legit. Make sure that claim isn't legit. Like, you got to look at both sides. You have to look at both sides, especially if, one, you've never met this person. Two, you've never met the person who's making these claims. Like, there are crazy men out there and there are crazy women out there. You need to make sure that you see the proof in the pudding, because you're like, okay, she's saying that he came at her negatively. Okay, well, did she do something to cause a negative reaction? Was she actually being calm, cool, collected when she was presenting this problem with this person? Was it a problem, or was it something that was a delusion? Like, we don't know the whole backside of the story. There's always like, there's two sides of the story. We don't know any side of the story except for what's being presented.
It's the herd mentality. It's the herd mentality. People gonna follow what the first thing they see. Like, oh, it got to be true. You know, that's the fucked up thing.
And women are always gung ho to be a girl's girl and protect women, and I'm all about that. But I also need to make sure that I'm backing someone who is making a solid claim, because I'm not going to look dumb in the end. I'm not going to be backing someone who I don't know, and I've never seen the proof of any of these claims. Like, I'm not involved in that life. I'm not involved in her life. I'm not her best friend. I'm not his best friend. Like, I don't know who to believe because I don't know these people.
Right.
So I can't say anything about it. I can just watch it all unfold in front of me, but I have no right to put my 2 cents in there unless I've had an experience or unless I've seen solid proof of the claim.
I really didn't think this podcast was going to get this deep, but it did.
I mean, I've seen so much negativity on the feed lately. Anything that's like positive and good, I'm like, I call it out. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for the positivity, because I needed it. I needed a break from.
No, especially, I say Twitter's one of the most toxic, not real places on the face of the planet.
Mhm.
It's almost like people go out their way to be toxic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a sad way to live.
Like
I
if
think
I'm
it
like,
takes more energy to do that
like
than
if
to
my
just.
whole day is to troll someone, I'm like,
Mhm.
I need
That's
to
a sad
find a
life.
life. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Miss Ivy Andrews with no limits. That's your new name. So what kind of stuff are you hoping to shoot at the SBU sorority house?
I would say girl content is like literally like I was like, oh, sign me up. Sign me up.
Just please don't make it boring because I'll turn my camera off.
You think I'm gonna be boring? Do you think
Maybe not you, but so girl content to me makes me yawn. Filming, watch before I got into this industry, yeah, girl was sexy.
Yeah.
Now it has to me for me to like it has to be filthy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'm more dominant with women just all around. I barely get submissive with women because like if I'm going to be with a woman because I don't get to do it often, like I'm going to be
Oh,
like
so you're
a
about to
rabid
devour
dog.
all these women.
A rabid dog.
I like that. Yeah.
Because when you're in just like my private life, like if I'm on dating apps and stuff, men are turned off because I already get enough of that for work. I don't get women because they're either flaky or they don't take it serious. Like it's like, oh, we're gonna meet up and hang out, and then they're gonna like take 6 hours to shoot. I'm like, I've got a schedule. I don't have 6 hours to just chill and do whatever and like, oh, let's do a TikTok. Oh, like, no. What are we doing today? What's the plan between hour 1 and hour 2? Like, this is when we're going to shoot. This is when we're going to create reels and TikToks. Like, we need to have a set schedule. We're not hanging out forever.
So we will have that. We definitely will have that at this house. So you don't have to worry about that. There is going to be a lot more. Well, not a lot more. It's going to be a lot of safe for work content, but you're going to be able to get filthy as well. So
I feel like it's so hard to make safe for work content because everything just always turns sexual. Always. It's like, I know what people want to see. And so that's what I gravitate more towards. So when I try to do the vanilla and the safe for work stuff, I'm like, I feel like no one's going to like that. I feel like that's not going to be as viewed as this. But there's platforms where you can't even like muddy the water even a little bit.
Right. And the safe for work stuff, I'm learning to
really win your audience too.
Yeah, it helps to drive the traffic. It helps to drive the traffic to your other stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like I know TikTok is a weapon of good and IG could be a weapon of good. And like even like this new platform called Slushy, like you need to draw people in to what you want to sell, but you need to be a little bit more safe for work to show to a wider audience of people on that platform. Because if you're just posting not safe for work content, people can turn that off and then you're not being showed to everybody. So using these platforms to your advantage. Yeah, I had a call with one of the people from Slushy and they're like, yeah, you want to be PG, but when you swipe and people want to pay for your subscription, that's when they get to see the good stuff. You don't want to give it all away because you're not going to be shown to everybody because they can flip it from adult, like X-rated content to like raunchy, like touching the line type content.
Gotcha. Yeah. So just girl is what you're hoping to just devour everyone.
Girl, what I want to do is I'm really big on like building connections and relationships with people who I can trust and building a type of community to be a part of. I mean, you see all these people like they've got their crew. Like I want to build a crew. I want to be a part of a crew and I want people to look at the crew that I'm a part of and be like, yeah, like setting a good example. We haven't heard anything bad about these people because they're here to be safe. They're true to what they do and they enjoy doing it and they like to have fun. And there's never been a situation where anyone's felt uncomfortable or anybody has come and been like, this was a disappointment.
Right. No.
Yeah.
You want to build communities and crews that people look up to and want to be a part of, and like that looks so much fun to be around. Like I want to do that because I like what they do.
And it's so, like I said, it's so hard to do that now, unless you find genuine people that are like-minded, because like we said, clout is such a big thing for people that they'd be like, well, I know you're cool and I know you're safe, but you only have 20,000 followers versus this person has 1 million. And I heard stuff, but didn't happen to me. So
the clout.
Right.
Yeah. You kind of have to put your ego aside when you're doing this.
People will do whatever for the little bit of 15 minutes of fame. That's why I hate, trust me, I understand the importance of going viral. But I don't care about it. I want to make an actual quality product that's going to, stand the test of time.
That part.
Viral stuff is like 15 minutes and they're on to the next. But I want people to keep coming back saying, hey, I know these group of people make quality product.
Dude, like legit yesterday, when I made a post of me and Marilyn, it was like one of the comments was, yo, what's the camera? Like, you know what I mean? Because it was the quality. Like, what kind of camera did you have? Like, and I was just like, it was the quality of what I was posting and how it was shot. Like, that's where it's like, okay, now I see what he's doing. Okay, I see what they're up to. This is what they're building. It's quality content. There's something, even if it's just a snippet of something, it's still something like, all right, we know that Tech and Jordan is not putting no garbage out. We know this is how they're going to move, and that's how it's the best way to go. Is like, you can never say that there's bad quality. You may not have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 followers, but I guarantee you, my clip's going to be better than that person's. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how you want to maneuver.
But also, social media puts out the quality over like the shit videos and pictures and whatever. Like, it is all about aesthetics in this industry. If you are, I mean, like, while I'm on this like pixelated webcam while we're talking, but like, people want to see quality content. There's amateur content that people love. There's an audience for that. If you want to get promoted on any sort of social media website, TikTok will only post good quality videos. They will only show that on the For You page because they are known to show quality content on your feed. Instagram will only show quality stuff. If your camera is fuzzy or your lighting is bad or whatever, their AI system will not show your stuff. It will not promote your stuff. It will put out the things that look better than what you're putting out. So you always want to put out your most quality stuff. And I'm going through all my socials and finding like, oh, like this was a bad angle, or this lighting wasn't good. This filter makes it look awful. Like, I need to take this down, because you want to advertise you as a product. And if you're advertising it half-assed, people are going to think that all of your content is half-assed. You need to have consistency.
Correct. No, I definitely, trust me, even like me going back and looking at old footage, that's why it's so hard for me to edit the old footage that I have still. Because I'm like, oh, my camera is so much better. My skill set, the lights that I have is so much better than what I have. But you gotta put it out because, like you said, there's an audience for everybody, and that dude that likes having weird, low quality content is gonna be like, oh, let me buy this. Let me buy. You know what I mean? Trust me, the shit that I'm like, this is like, Michael Bay quality doesn't move. This shit that's M. Night shit a lot is flying off the shelf. You know what I mean?
People
Like,
are really into amateur nowadays. People are into like fan fucks. People are into like, I met this guy randomly, and like it could be true, it could be not true. The story is great. I'm bought into this story of you met this guy at a bar and you did it in the alley. Like, that's hot to me. That's what I want to watch. That's what I'm thinking when I'm watching. It's like you're making this storyline happen in my mind, whether that's the story or not. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm watching this video.
Right, right.
So I feel like people can do a lot more with it when it's an amateur video, because like when you're doing the high production stuff, usually there's a storyline already that goes along with it, because you're doing the dialogue, you're doing the scene, you're doing the acting, and then it gets into it. You've set the scene with the high production. With these small clips where people are getting banged out in their like trunk, it's like, I met this guy at a bar and like we both got so drunk we couldn't wait till we got home. Like, okay, cool, that's hot to me. Like, you met this random person at a bar, you had a one night stand, you didn't really know what you guys were doing, and like it was consensual, but like that's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot that you couldn't wait to get home. And like I'm into public stuff, so like that's hot. But that might have been your boyfriend that you just pulled over at the side, like in an empty parking lot. Like, that's
nah, you have a lot of fans now. You have a lot of fans now be like, I've seen that dick somewhere. Well, you know.
Right.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the left vein right there. That left vein. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, they be like, nah, you ain't fooling nobody. You know? But no, if you can't be original, be creative.
Right. You're selling a product. You are selling a fantasy. You are selling something. Sell it well.
Like, I can't say that I'm the king of, dry humping. It was already out here before I did it. I just had to make my own little twist to it. You know what I mean? So, be creative with it, and that's what's going to make shit sell. Like, I just hate everyone's like finger blasting themselves, rolling their eyes in the back of their head like hentai, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on. I done seen 100 girls do the same thing. Like, what's gonna make you any different?
Exactly. And I feel like that's the same thing with like webcamming and things. It's like there's so many girls like that has a fuck machine. There's so many girls just on there with a like, what is going to make this exciting for me to stay and watch? Like, I have like a Wheel of Fortune spin wheel. Like, make it interactive. Like, make it visually like exciting, because there's so much, like you said, there's so much porn out there that's the same, that it's like, okay, what makes you different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do milking table? Do you do like massage? Like, what is it all comes back to niche. Like, what is your niche? Like, what are people coming and expecting to see from you?
Right. No.
What is it?
100%. So, unfortunately, this is time. We've been on here yapping away for 2 hours now.
You sure have.
Was that a dig?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know why I'm even here.
You put in some very good insight and philosophical wordings.
I definitely like the moral support that I got from you.
I'm good.
I appreciate you being here, because we have only been talking online.
Whatever, Ivy. I'm done.
And we finally get to chat.
All right, so ladies first. Go ahead, tell the fans where they can find you, what stuff you have coming up, all that. This is your moment to shine.
So Jordan brought up earlier in the podcast, I got a mommy makeover, so I am ready to make new content. Yeah, I'm itty bitties now.
I can't wait to put the new merchandise.
And I got the tummy tuck, so I have been MIA for like a month and a half now, and I'm ready to put out new content. I've got big collabs coming up. We've got this content house coming up. I'm really excited about that, to meet everybody and to just really get into some girl content. But yeah, I need to show off these new titties. I need to show off this new body. I just bought a new set of bathing suits and everything. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm set. But you can find me on Twitter at Miss Ivy Andrews. You can find me on OnlyFans at Miss Ivy Andrews. You can find me on ManyVids and on Fansly at Miss Ivy Andrews. I'm going to be posting a lot more water sports on Fansly, a lot more fetish stuff there. And my Instagram is growing. We're kind of stagnant there, but it's because my original one got banned. So it's Ivy Andrews with 3 S's at the end. That's what it is. I wish it could match everything else, but it doesn't. But yeah, you can find me all there. I feel like I'm most active on Twitter and my OnlyFans. And I do in-person shoots with fans as well. But there is a process. So you can reach out to me in my DMs on Twitter and we can go from there.
All right. Mr. Wright.
Nah, I'm good. Go ahead, Chuck.
Bro, you gotta
I'm playing. Yeah, no, it was great. Hearing you talk, Ivy, it's good a chance to meet you, and it was wonderful. Basically, just hearing how you think about the process of the industry. There's not too many women like that in this industry, so me and Tech are thoroughly impressed. We can't wait to meet you next couple of weeks.
Don't be a catfish. Don't be just doing this shit because we all here live. Because I'm gonna call you out.
Had that same me and Tech gonna be clowning you later. I'll tell you that now. You're like, yo, remember that one girl?
Man, she catfished the fuck out of us on this live.
She don't act like that. She don't sound like that. She don't look like that. No, but you can find me on the X at Jordan_Wright X, and then hit the link tree. You can hit all my links. Everything's there. So hit me up there, and I'm always down to do a wifey rating. Just did one yesterday. It was fun. So let me rate your wife, and I'll let you know if I want her. Ooh. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the platform, Tech, as always.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. This was a really good conversation, and we talked about some fun things and we talked about some deep things. So I feel like we had a great conversation about everything.
We also, before I say my intro, we also are doing the podcast at the house as well. So it's going to be up and running, and we'll be able to, talk our shit there as well. And do stuff. We're trying to make it multi-dimensional, not just about the porn or fetish content. We're trying to make it overall. So when we leave, everyone leaves with so much stuff that they could put in multiple different platforms and grow their platforms.
And just learning from each other too.
Like you said, it's all about collabing and building and helping network and stuff of that nature.
Absolutely.
So this is your host, Hektek from Hektek Desires. This is Whatever by Hektek, where you just never know what we're going to talk about, because I never know until we say action. I like it that way. It flows. This person does not. This person down here hates it. He hates not knowing what we're going to talk about. But I like it because I don't want to be in a box. I like to be free. I'm a peacock. Let me fly. No. So you can find me on all major platforms. You could Google me, Hektek Desires. Everything will pop up. Dry Bone is my fetish site. But Whatever by Hektek is on every major platform as well. Spotify, YouTube, clearly. And then it's We by Hektek on Twitter. I had to change it. I get it. I couldn't get the same name. But everything else is the same name except for that. Yeah. So I totally
throw a wrench in there.
They had to fuck me up. Someone got it before me. I was like, how does someone got Whatever by Hektek? That's just how? Oh, I think it was too many words.
No.
I think it was too long. So, but this is how I am. I mean, I am low key too. So you'll see me kind of just chilling out at the house or whatever. But I like to joke, have fun, and keep it moving. So thank all my lovely guests. Ivy, I'm definitely going to have you on again. That's what I meant.
Please, this was fun. I love this.
Podcast at the house, but Yeah, we definitely got to have you back on.
Please.
Yeah, it's dope. Thank you for answering because no one else responded. So it was good that you responded. You were like, me. I was like, yes.
I've never been on a podcast before, and this was a great experience. And
they're going
to
after they see this, they're going to jump all over you.
Please request me to come back, everybody.
Yeah.
Tell us all the topics you want us to cover.
100%. So don't go anywhere. Stay there.